Our next question, we will start with Students of Liberty. We have a video question for you.
Junior from Lenexa, Kansas. And I was wondering, does it really matter who the president and vice are, since it's student senate that spends all of our money and the president and vice don't really necessarily have any power?
So basically, to kind of paraphrase the question that we'd like to ask is, how do you interpret the role of president and vice president in the student senate?
Well, president and vice president have a lot of organizational responsibilities and so forth. The main thing that I think is really important is the veto. If we can get that power to say, no, we will not increase fees. No, we will not pay for this because it's not open to all students, or whatever our justification is for any issue. That's much more valuable than being a senator.
I think we can be leaders on this campus. We can help rally the students through referendum, see what they think.
You're much more powerful voice, and I think that's going to be another one of our responsibilities, and one of our functions is going to be a leader and a voice and an advocate of the average and all KU students.
Okay, thank you. United Students, how do you see the role of president and vice president?
Although the vice president and president of Student Senate would be the ones who are the figurehead, I think that Student Senate is more than just the 90 people they're representing and the 2 people who are in charge along with the executive committee. I think that we're representing all students, and that our job is to make sure that their voice is heard. So by going to different organizations, as a leader, they're more willing to say, hey, we need to work on this, we need to work on this. And by using the leadership skills that we have and that we've accomplished through the university, through Student Senate, we can really help benefit students.
Another thing that's very important for the president and vice president to be able to do is to push their platform, and that's what they're going to spend most of their time on, is actually implementing the ideas that we're talking about in this campaign. It's also our job to engage students and to continue to go out there and ask them what things they would like to see done. And finally, we're going to work with administration to make sure that our platform ideas get accomplished.
Okay, thank you. And finally, Connect, how do you view the role of president and vice president?
I would say the most important thing for the student body president and vice president to do is to challenge the administration to take students' interests seriously on the campus. And that's a very external role. The president is able to represent all students when dealing with the administration, both and also at the local level and at the state level, and that's taken very seriously. And we must not squander that. It's very important that the president and vice president take those seriously. The vice president is also chair of the Senate, and that's a very important role. That person gets to make a lot of decisions regarding legislation and other things. But I think the most important role that the student body president plays is they get to hire an executive staff, which gets paid with your student fees, and also appoint the chairs and members of over 30 campus committees, including the Recreation Services Board, the Watkins Health Center Board, the Student Housing Advisory Board, the Transit Commission, and of course the dreaded Parking Commission. So I think it's very important, and the president ends up being the face to the students, from the administration to the students, and also from the students to the administration.
And that's time. This next question that we have, we do not have a video for, but voices a very controversial topic among KU students. Starting with United Students, how would you address students' concerns about student fees and the potential increase of student fees?
I think it's important. My microphone? Okay. I think it's important that we have a student body president and vice president who are committed to keeping fees down. And that sometimes means making hard decisions. We're committed, Michael and I are committed to every time we see a fee come across our desk to giving it a close look and making sure that it's something that students need. And if there's any question in our minds, then we're going to send it to students to vote so that they can tell us for sure that that's something they want to do. We also want to look at the things that we already do in Student Senate, the fees that we already have. And we're going to review those and make sure that we're getting the best bang for our buck. And if we're not, then we're going to retract those fees so that students can have a little bit extra cash in their pocket.
All right, thank you. Connect, same question. How would you address students' concerns over student fees and the potential increase of those fees?
Yeah, I'm very concerned about student fees. When I was a freshman 4 years ago, we only paid $287 a semester, and now we're paying $90 more per semester than that. So that's a huge increase in just 4 years. That's why Connect KU is running an initiative to have a say before you pay. And that means anytime a new project is requested or a new service will be added to student fees, the whole student body will get a chance to vote yay or nay on that referendum. It's very important that students know and understand what their student fees go to, and we want to give them every opportunity to say they want that fee or they do not. Thanks.
Thank you, Connect. And Students of Liberty, same question. How would you address students' concerns over student fees?
I think as far as student fees, it's pretty simple. The word that comes to mind is no. That's pretty much my function as president, is any student fee increase, which is in effect a tuition increase, no, sorry. And if it really is what the students want, then they can go through referendum, they can override the veto. But as far as my position on it, no fee increases whatsoever, ever.
Okay, thank you. Our next question comes in the form of a video submission, and we'll start with Connect after the video.
Hill, hometown, Orem, Utah, graduate student. Question is why are the requirements for graduate students to become eligible for in-state tuition so rigid? That's my question. I'd like to be able to pay in-state tuition. I'd like to be able to pay in-state tuition before this is all over. Smile and say thank you.
Okay. So a lot of students are affected by the high cost of out-of-state tuition. Is there anything that you guys would do to try and lower that cost?
Sure. I think the number one thing that Student Senate has done in the past to lower the cost of tuition is by starting the 4-year tuition compact. That was an issue that students brought up, and Student Senate passed, and Student Senate got done. Now, directly relating to the question that was posed, Student Senate can, and as president, I would be interested in making sure that the requirements for being an in-state student are clear and are concise. And if they need to be reviewed, I hope they would be done so, and I would take that very seriously.
Okay, thank you. Students of Liberty, same question. Would you guys do anything to try and lower the cost of out-of-state tuition?
Anything. There are a couple of things. This is an issue that's personal to me. My wife's had some problems getting in-state tuition. She moved from Missouri, like a mile away from the border. But I know they're really stingy on that, and we can work through different various committees and talk to actual officials about this, making this process a lot easier. But I think if you're talking about lowering tuition, not just out-of-state tuitions, like what I said earlier, student fees are in effect tuition. You want to lower tuition, you lower student fees.
Okay, thank you. And United Students, would you guys do anything to try and lower the cost of out-of-state tuition?
Absolutely. And one of the great things that we have in Student Senate is the Student Legislative Awareness Board. And this is a branch of Student Senate that has 2 paid members on our executive staff whose job it is to go to the Board of Regents, the state legislature, and the United States Congress to lobby on these things. When students come to us and tell us that their tuition is too high, and it obviously is for a lot of students, and especially for out-of-state students, we're going to direct our community affairs director and our legislative director to go to those Board of Regents institutions, to the state legislature, and work with them and tell them that it's not okay to have in-state tuition this high, and it's not okay to have graduate in-state tuition this high either.